Hello dear students, this is Dr. Kesari Shukla and today in this video I am going to discuss William Shakespeare, one of the most important literary figure of not only 16th century Elizabethan period, not only a great literary artist of Jacobean period, 17th century, early 17th century, but also he is the most shining figure of English literature. Students, this is very difficult to discuss everything about William Shakespeare, not because of the level of knowledge, but one problematic thing is there about William Shakespeare, that the life of William Shakespeare is very much unknown. Only great researchers and especially the historians of England, they have tried to just unveil the life of William Shakespeare, and only on the basis of guess and researches the available fact, especially about his life, is there before us, what we discuss in English literature. So first of all, if we talk about his life, so he was born in 1564 in Stainford upon Avon. This is a place in Warwickshire, England, and he is also called the Bard of Avon. Bard means a poet, and Avon was the river where from he was belonging, that's why he is called Bard of Avon. Most of the things about his life, especially of his childhood, birth and parentage, is here available in the form of knowledge, is only on the basis of guess, on the basis of researchers, on the basis of historians, what they have just made clear on the basis of their researches, so that is available before us. So on the basis of that, this 23rd of April in 1564, when Shakespeare was born, and 23rd of April is actually not a clear date. Actually, there was a system in England. It was baptisment. The Shakespeare was baptized. Baptized means namkaran. Shakespeare was baptized on 26th of April. So this was the tradition in England. 3 days after the birth of a child, he is baptized. So when baptisement was done on 26th of April, so on that basis, this is guessed that Shakespeare was born on 23rd of April. Students, his father's name was John Shakespeare and mother was Mary Arden. John Shakespeare was not actually very poor. He was a man of standard. He had a special kind of standard in the society. He was in business, and this business was the business of leather, and also he had so many businesses, corn business, and he had a great reputation, and this was the time 1568. So he got a very prestigious post in England, and this post was not less than the mayor of a city. But as you know that Shakespeare and his family suffered in his life due to some economical crisis. Its reason was this, that his father was just made out from the services. This is guessed that he was a Catholic. because he was the follower of Catholic, and in those days, in the days of Queen Elizabeth, Protestantism was just overlapping in the society. Although Elizabeth was very liberal in religion, in religious affairs, but few scholars and literary critics says that his father was just made out from the services because of his Catholic mentality, his Catholic following. And because of this, his family suffered due to economical crisis. Students, when Shakespeare was 18 years of age, means in 1582, he got married to Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway was a 8-year elder William Shakespeare. When Shakespeare was 18 years of age, Anne Hathaway was 26. Students, just after the marriage, means only after 6 months, Anne Hathaway just we got a child. His name was Susan. Susan was a daughter, a girl, a baby girl. And 3 years later, in 1585, Shakespeare got twins, Hamnet and Judith. Only in the age of 11, Hamlet died due to some unknown reason. This is not very clear how he died. And throughout the life, Shakespeare lived with her 2 daughters, Susan and Judith. Here one thing which is something controversial about William Shakespeare, how William Shakespeare accepted a lady who was 26 years of age and Shakespeare was only 18 years of age. Actually, dear students, some controversies are also there with William Shakespeare, especially about his earlier life. Few literary critics used to say that William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe was not different personalities. They were the single one. Actually, William Shakespeare was Christopher Marlowe and Christopher Marlowe was William Shakespeare. And it has some evidences also. There is no availability of Shakespeare's portrait, 1 or 2 portraits, what is available. So that is very much like as the portrait of Christopher Marlowe. And in the signature of William Shakespeare, the word S, and in the signature of Christopher Marlowe, the word the alphabet S, there is a great similarity in between. Their signature is very much similar. And you know that after the birth of Judith and Hamnet, means in 1585, from 1585 to 1593, this was the absence of William Shakespeare from the literary field. Nobody knows, no literary critic has written that during this period where Shakespeare was there. And students, this was the golden period of Christopher Marlowe. During this period, Christopher Marlowe has produced so many great tragedies, especially. Christopher Marlowe has never written any comedy. And how Christopher Marlowe died, so that is also a controversial point. And even after the death of Christopher Marlowe, his body was not recovered. And just after his death, when he died in 1593, so few weeks later, all of a sudden, William Shakespeare just appeared in England with all his excellent comedies, and he started just producing nice creations. And the controversy, especially about the death of Christopher Marlowe, is this, that actually it was the reign of Queen Elizabeth, and all of a sudden a pamphlet was just circulated in England, in London, that Jesus Christ was a gay. Jesus Christ was a homosexual. And when Queen Elizabeth come to know about this, so she became very furious, because this kind of pamphlet can just create a kind of disturbance in the society. This was a matter of religion. And in this matter, Thomas Kidd was arrested. And when Thomas Kidd was arrested, he was presented before the primary council. So he informed that it was none other but it was Christopher Marlowe, who was an atheist, and he published it. So because of this crime, Christopher Marlowe was given the sentence of death. And it may be that Christopher Marlowe wanted to just save himself, so he planned, and he just fought in a restaurant, and during the fight he was killed by his own friend. So this is, and after his death, his body was not recovered. So few men guess that actually he was not died, but this is the matter of disguise. And this was William Shakespeare, who was Christopher Marlowe. And just after his death, William Shakespeare just became very active in literary field. Here one thing is very remarkable, that William Shakespeare has written comedies and tragedies. He has poetry. He has tried his hands in several fields. But Christopher Marlowe has written only comedies. Perhaps, Marlowe has written only tragedies. He is known for his tragedies. So perhaps this was William Shakespeare, who has written tragedies in the form of Christopher Marlowe, and it may be that this was William Shakespeare who was Marlowe, and this was Marlowe who was William Shakespeare. There was a great similarity. Even I have just started this point making clear when I have talked about Anne Hathaway. So when William Shakespeare has accepted Anne Hathaway, it may be that she was the wife of earlier Christopher Marlowe. That's why he has just accepted a widow as the wife of actually William Shakespeare. Actually, it was Christopher Marlowe. That's why he has accepted a lady 8 year elder, 8 year older students. Actually, what the things we are just making you about William Shakespeare, This question was raised in a monthly review published in 1819, sorry, it was in 19th century, the first half of 19th century, 1819, and some anonymous magazine it was, monthly review. So this question was first time raised in that, and some controversies about also about Queen Elizabeth, ki why she didn't marry when he was given proposal by the king of Spain, Philip II. So there are some controversies are also there. Few critics says that actually there was a teacher. Elizabeth was taught by Roger Ascham. Roger Ascham was her teacher, and Roger Ascham has just taught her and motivated her not to marry. And Elizabeth has herself told that I want to be a mistress, I don't want to be in the hands of a master. She thought that our dignity must be just tempered when I will be married, when I got married. So that's why she didn't marry. And some other controversies are also there, that her two mothers, original mother and stepmother, was killed by her own father. So that's why a kind of hatred was against the men of the society, especially male authorities. That's why she didn't marry it. And a few says that there was a man, Admiral Robert Seymour. You can note down, Admiral Robert Seymour. Admiral Robert Seymour has molested. You can just note down. Once Queen Elizabeth was, when she was only 14 years of age, a girl, so she was molested. That's why a kind of hatred was just there in the heart of Queen Elizabeth. That's why she didn't marry it. And few critics says that in her family she just watched so many painful conditions during the delivery. That's why she didn't marry. So these are the controversies what about I have told you, because this was the age of William Shakespeare. Elizabethan was the age of William Shakespeare, and the controversy of Christopher Marlowe was also with William Shakespeare. That's why I have just made all these things clear. Now it's time to proceed after these controversies. Students, when all of a sudden in 1593 William Shakespeare came, so actually this year England was just disturbed by plague, and this plague was so dangerous that the theaters were closed. As in Corona, you all are watching that theaters, malls, they are totally closed, locked down. The very same kind of condition was there in 1593 due to the plague. And this plague, due to this plague, the theaters were closed. And when theaters were closed, so during this period, Shakespeare wrote his poetic works. Two very important creations in verse form, Troilus and Cresside. Troilus and Cresside, very important creation by William Shakespeare. And Another creation, Duke of Lucrece. Duke of Lucrece is another creation in verse. And one other important poem what William Shakespeare has written, it was a lover's complaint. So these three creations he has written during this period. And one thing maybe in your mind, sir, that sir has not talked about his sonnets. Actually, dear students, Shakespearean sonnet, what the sonnet form Shakespeare has written? The Shakespeare has just written his sonnets only for himself only. That's why Shakespeare is totally objective in his dramas and totally subjective in his sonnets. And Shakespeare has never shown his diary where he has written sonnets. Means Shakespeare has never written his sonnets because of popularity, for popularity. He didn't want any kind of popularity and publishment, any kind of publication of his sonnets. He didn't want to earn money for his sonnets. That's why his sonnets were published after his death in 1609. That's why I have not just talked about his sonnets. Again, just written here. So when theatres were closed, the William Shakespeare had just joined a theatre when the lockdown was over, when the problem of plague was past. The Shakespeare just joined a theatre, and this theatre name was Lord Chamberlain's Drama Party. Lord Chamberlain's Drama Party. This was the name of the theatre. In 1594 he joined. And he worked there. One thing I want to just make you again remind that Ben Jonson's, there was a comedy. Every man is in humor. The Shakespeare just took part there as an actor. In Ben Jonson's comedy, the Shakespeare was an actor primarily. And few critics and literary scholars says that earlier Shakespeare was also a school teacher. Then he became an actor. And when he became actor, so he got a special interest in dramas, and he has just written so many dramas. He has written 37 plays, students. So when in 94 he joined the drama, so after some time he just bought a share in a theatre. It was Globe Theatre, and because Shakespeare had a share in Globe Theatre, it was just there in 1599. It was the time of Globe Theatre. It was 1599. You can note down. So Shakespeare had a strong share in that theatre. Means Shakespeare is now a businessman in the field of theatre. But unfortunately, it was just burnt once. It caught a fire when a performance of a drama was just going on. It was the scene of some cannon, and due to the fire in cannon, the theatre was burnt and it was re-established. And when Queen Elizabeth died in 1603 and James I became the king, the Shakespeare changed its name. The name of Globe Theatre was changed and it was now Kingsmen Party. The name of this theatre became Kingsmen Party. This was Globe Theatre, which was just turned into Kingsmen Party. Okay, students. So in this way, I have just described the story of William Shakespeare, and the period of 1590, 1589, you can say, and if I say clearly, it was 1593. From 1593, 90 you can say, to 1613, this was the productive period of William Shakespeare. During this period, he has written all his literary pieces, especially dramas and poems, what he has written. So, dear students, during his period, he was criticized very much. When it was the starting period of, it was the budding period of William Shakespeare. So he was very much criticized. Actually, he was not an university scholar. And this was the mentality in those days, especially in literary artists, that a man who is not belonging to any university, any college, Cambridge or Oxford, so how he can understand the literary ethics, how he can just produce literary pieces. And in pre-Shakespearean literary artists, university wits were there. University wits means a group of university scholars who were just producing excellent kind of creations. And actually they were the literary artists of higher academic standards. That's why the achievements and the literary products of William Shakespeare was not accepted by them, especially Robert Greene. He has criticized William Shakespeare very much. There is a famous statement of Robert Greene about William Shakespeare. He told that Shakespeare is an upstart crow. Upstart crow means Shakespeare is a crow. Upstart crow, he has said, and said that he knows nothing, but he has just took our wings. Means he is copying us, and copying us, he is producing nice literature. The kind of jealousy, you can say. They said that because of our feathers, he is just producing, he is just flying in the sky, in the air. That's why they have told upstart crow. And one very important idiom, an important statement you often just listen, but unfortunately you don't know. Most of the students and even so many teachers don't know what is the origin of this statement. Statement you can note down: Jack of all trades but master of none. Jack of all trades but master of none means a man who knows little about everything, but he is not expert of anything. Jack of all, master of none. This statement is the statement of Thomas Kidd about William Shakespeare. The students, this was one of the university wits who had just criticized William Shakespeare very much. But here I want to add one thing, that William Shakespeare has learnt from university wits very much. Among university wits, George Peele was there, Robert Greene, Thomas Nashe, and Christopher Marlowe, and Robert Greene, and Thomas Lodge. They all were there. And this was the greatness of William Shakespeare, that he has learnt something from them all. So students, this video is going to be very long, so better for us to pass it here, and in the next video I will just teach you what are those things what William Shakespeare has learnt from university wits. So thank you very much dear students.